Hi, I'm Nicole Scott here for Netbook News, and here we have the unboxing of the HP Envy-6. So this is actually a model that's currently available here in Taiwan. So the configuration of the one that we've got is a little bit different than what you'd have in the US. So obviously you see here there's Chinese and English setup instructions. And let's pull this out. And we have the unit. But let's just see what else is in the box. We have a package list here, and let's check out the PSU. All right, so not that small, but still a good size. All right, so let's move that over here. Let's get rid of the box. You can see it has this lovely Beats audio sticker on it. I'm pretty excited to check out these speakers because I hear that they're very stand up. So let's take this off here. All right, so this particular model that I'm unboxing is the 1010TX. So this is a 15.6-inch Ultrabook. This is probably the largest Ultrabook that I have ever really handled. 15.6 inches to me is absolutely enormous and massive, but it is only at its thickest point, 0.78 inches. It's fairly heavy at 4.6 pounds, but let's get in here. Oh, there we go. All right. So here we go. You can see it has a fantastic finish. I mean, for a budget machine, it really does look fantastic. So why don't we take a look around the ports? Here we have the Ethernet port with a little hatch there, HDMI, two USB 2.0s, a 2-in-1 card reader, and some LEDs. Around the front, you can really see how nice and thin this profile is. Yeah, so 0.78 inches is very thin. There we have a Kensington lock, separate mouse or microphone and headphone jacks, another USB 2.0, and the PSU. Around the back, you can see that it just has a fan here, so the battery is integrated into the bottom. If we open it up, so I've plugged it all in, gone through the regular Windows startup, and since this is an HP machine, we get a kind of specific walkthrough for HP. Let's register later, and then you can actually choose to customize. So I'm going to say, no, I don't want HP support, and yes, I will join the HP Improvement Program. It's really nice that HP asks you all of this before you initialize your computer. So protect your HP with Norton. I'll say no, do not activate, do not activate. It's really great that this is an option, because on many machines that I get, you're just stuck with McAfee or Norton constantly bothering you, and if it's not your system of choice, then that's pretty annoying. So it's really nice that they have that in their setup feature. So this is going to go through its initial setup, and I'll come back to you in just another second. So because we have such a big screen here, one of the great things about this is the display. At 15.6 inches, you're definitely going to be watching a lot of movies on this. So, wow. So this has Beats audio. So 4 speakers and a subwoofer. So we're watching a Big Buck Bunny Hunter at 1080p here. So that's windows all the way up, but it looks gorgeous. Turn the brightness down. Still all right, actually, but brightness way up. Really looks great. The display is 1366 by 768, which is actually one of the downfalls to this machine. Other Ultrabooks usually have like a 1600 by 900 or even 1920 by 1080. So we're starting to see like true HD displays, and this is one of the areas that the Envy-6 actually sacrificed on for price. So in the US, this with the Ivory Bridge edition started around $800. They even go down to $599 if you get the AMD A6 version. So I mean, like, this is a really fantastic build quality. Even the AMD is going to have the exact same build. The same display, just different interiors. This configuration with the AMD GPU, the HD 7670, this is going to run probably around $1,150 roughly for the i5 version with Turbo Boost. So there are different options. I was checking out the US site, and Even the i7 is about $25 more. So this does come with Ivy Bridge and Sandy Bridge options as well as AMD. So they've really made full use out of this form factor. If we just stop this for a second, actually, and take another look, let me just unplug that. Right, so if we just take another look, this has a really fantastic brushed, kind of like brushed metal finish, but it actually is plastic. The one annoying thing is you can see how my fingerprints have kind of grubbied it up. So it is super sexy, but for portability, and it has a red bottom. So many Ultrabooks now are just coming in this plain, kind of plain Jane kind of coloring. If we take a look quickly at the Asus ZenBook, this is a gorgeous device. I mean, this is actually, I have the UX31. This is great. This is actually the UX32VD, so this is with the NVIDIA graphics card, so keep an eye out for some comparison on our part for this with the NVIDIA graphics and this with the AMD. But I just wanted to quickly give you kind of a look at what the difference is for a traditional Ultrabook. So check that out. I mean, this is, what is this, 13 millimeters? So taking a closer look at the keyboard, because this is a 15.6-inch edition, it has this sunken edge here, lots of room around the side. When you type on this, I mean, it's got the wide, nice flat keys, good spacing in between everything. It really does feel fantastic. Looking at the trackpad a little bit closer, you can see that it is a single integrated pad with integrated mouse buttons. If you can hear that, it's a little bit stiff, but it does work rather well. I've experienced some slight jumpiness around it, but that can also be fixed with a software update. This model is newly released, but so far I'm quite fond of it. It does really great two-finger scrolling, the separated mouse buttons. Usually not a fan of that, but there seems to be like a very small amount of dead zone in the middle between these two, and overall I'm very happy with the responsiveness. The next question on everyone else's mind should be battery life. So this should get you around 6 hours of continuous HD playback, or about 9 to 10 for regular usage. So if we kind of, decrease the screen brightness and put it on power saver, supposedly we're supposed to get about 9 to 10 hours, but we'll have to do a little bit more testing to find that out, since this is just the initial unboxing. All right. So since this has the AMD 7670M graphics card, I decided to run PC Mark Vantage. So you can see here we have a score of 4,443. If we compare this to the kind of industry average, let's say we take the UX32VD, because it's got the NVIDIA GeForce GT 620M graphics card. It scored 4,534, so it scored about 100 points higher. The category average, though, for the Ivy Bridge Ultrabook is actually 3,395, according to Laptop Mag's average. So this is well above the average. And when I was running the 3D Mark Vantage, the fan actually did kick in. And to be honest with you, it was a little bit loud. If I'm feeling the bottom now, it's definitely warm. Nothing too warm, nothing too crazy. But I do think that's one of the things that you may, at the end of the day, find a little bit annoying about the machine, is that if you are doing anything graphically intensive, the fan might get a little annoying. But so far, the only other things that are definite negatives about this machine would be the display. 1366 by 768 is too low. Most other machines, especially on a 15.6 inch, I mean, it should be at least in the 1600 by 900. And I mean, if not even up at, let's say, even like the 1920 by 1080. I mean, let's go way HD on your display. I mean, and the viewing angles, they're not bad. I mean, they're not bad, but I would hesitate to have 4 people watching this. 3 people would be good, so it does have the wide viewing angles. It does go fairly bright. The configuration of this with the Core i5 and the Turbo Boost, I have to say, is a very good combination. I didn't find it very slow. I found it to be quite quick, even though it didn't have an SSD. So the other negative would be the fingerprints here. But I mean, overall, the machine really is fantastic. I mean, it's for a 15.6-inch device, it is being called an Ultrabook, but basically this is just how 15.6-inch devices should look. I mean, it's nice and thin. It's 4.6 pounds, which is fairly heavy, but it's definitely manageable to carry around because it's so thin. It's got all the ports you need. The only thing that it is missing would be a VGA port, but you can actually get an HDMI to VGA dongle for I think around $25 or $32. But it does have a built-in Ethernet port, which really is fantastic. 2-in-1 card reader, all built in, 3 USB ports. Like overall, for the price, the AMD version with the A6, it starts at $599. So I mean, overall, the build quality really is fantastic, and it has enough options that you can pretty much get whatever you want. So this has been a kind of a detailed unboxing of the HP Envy-6. I'm Nicole Scott for Netbook News, taking a look at the largest Ultrabook that I've ever unboxed.